Consider this. In the very moment you allow yourself to imagine vividly, to truly accept a new possibility in your inner world, you stand on the precipice of transformation. What unfolds in your consciousness is the seed of a reality yet unseen by the outer eye. But within, it is as tangible as the ground beneath your feet. You are not merely wishing, you are aligning with a truth that awaits expression. This is not a distant hope, it is an imminent reality. As you embrace this new state, notice what happens. The world begins to shift around you, subtly at first, and then with undeniable clarity. You are not a seeker. You are a radiating center of the reality you assume. It is not a future achievement. It is a present state of being. Many find that as they persist in this inner assumption, the mirror of life begins to reflect it with astonishing accuracy. You do not chase what you desire, you attract it by being it. This is the profound truth of the law of assumption. The outer world is but an echo of your inner conviction. Let me share with you what occurs in consciousness when you embrace this understanding fully. When you embody the state of abundance, lack fades away. When you stand in faith, doubt dissolves. You are not defined by your circumstances. Your circumstances are defined by you. The pattern is not one of effort, but of assumption. Watch what begins to rearrange in your life as you remain faithful to this new identity. You are not reacting to the world. You are setting the tone from within. Think about this. If you persist in seeing yourself as successful, what becomes of doubt? It vanishes like mist under the morning sun. Success is not a mere collection of thoughts. It is a state of consciousness. And once you assume this state, the outer world cannot help but follow. This is not wishful thinking. It is a principle you can test. As you persist in this assumption, the mirror of life often catches up. You are not proving anything. You are knowing it to be true. In my experience, the transformation is inevitable. When you stand on the precipice of extraordinary success, your entire world is about to undergo a change so profound that you will hardly recognize your former life. This isn't a fantasy, it's law. And as you accept this law, you become the embodiment of the state you desire. You are not performing, you are simply being. The outer shifts because the inner has shifted first. Let me tell you something vital. Your wild success isn't something that is coming. It is already here, existing now in your consciousness, waiting to be assumed into expression. The shift is internal, and it begins with how you see yourself. You are not a person lacking in anything. You are a being of fullness, complete and whole. As you embrace this identity, the outer world cannot help but follow suit. The contrast is clear. Are you seeking what you desire, or are you radiating it from within? Are you in a state of lack, or are you living from a place of fullness? The mirror outside reflects what you hold as true within. This is not a matter of chance, but a matter of consciousness. As you remain in this state, the conditions of your life begin to transform. They must, for it is law. Think about this. What occurs in consciousness when you decide to embody success now, not as a future possibility, but as a present reality? It is not something you do, it is something you are. The shift happens when you stop striving and start assuming. You do not have to chase success. You simply allow it to unfold from your inner acceptance. Many find that as they persist in this assumption, the outer circumstances rearrange themselves with remarkable precision. You are not reacting to life. You are creating it from within. The difference between effort and assumption is profound. Effort is trying. Assumption is being. Consider the contrast of performance versus embodiment. In performance, you are attempting to prove something. In embodiment, you are living it. You do not need proof when you know. The knowing is enough, and it becomes the foundation upon which reality builds. As you let go of the need to see evidence before belief, Notice what begins to unfold. Reality is not stubborn, it is reflective. And as you accept this, you find that the mirror of life often catches up with your inner state in ways that are both subtle and grand. This is the power of imagination and assumption. This is the truth that reshapes worlds. You are not a person defined by external circumstances. You are the creator of them. The outer is a reflection of the inner stance you hold. Consider the difference between doubt and faith. When you reside in doubt, the world appears uncertain and unyielding. But when you stand in faith, everything aligns with your assumption. This is not accidental. It is intentional. Let me share with you what occurs when you fully embrace this principle. As you maintain a state of inner fullness, life responds in kind. The universe is not indifferent. It is responsive to your inner conviction. When your inner world is one of richness and abundance, the outer world transforms to reflect that truth. In my experience, what tends to occur is a shift that is both subtle and profound. You are not merely reacting to life, you are orchestrating it from within. The inner world is the cause, the outer is the effect. This is the essence of the law of assumption. You are not striving for change. You are embodying the change. Think about this. How many times have you noticed that when you finally let go of doubt and assume the best follows? As you remain faithful to this assumption, watch what begins to unfold in your life. The transformation is inevitable. It is not a matter of if, but when. You are not defined by the limitations you perceive. You are as limitless as the imagination you cultivate. As you persist in this state of being, the outer world must reflect it. This is not a hopeful dream. It is the nature of reality to follow the dominant inner belief. Consider the contrast between proof and knowing. You do not need proof to assume an identity. The knowing is enough. When you stand in that knowing, life aligns itself to support it. The mirror often follows, reflecting back the truth of your assumption. As you continue to embody this state, notice how the circumstances of your life begin to shift and align with your new identity. This is the power of imagination and assumption. This is the truth that reshapes worlds. Think about this. Success isn't a future destination. It's a present state of consciousness. You are not striving for a future achievement. You are embodying a present reality. This shift in perspective changes everything. You are not a seeker of success. You are a radiating center of success. The outer world is merely catching up to your inner conviction. The contrast is striking. Are you chasing what you desire, or are you attracting it through your inner state? Are you living from a place of lack, or are you dwelling in a state of fullness? It is not the outer circumstances that define you. It is the inner state you embody. Let me tell you something vital. As you persist in this assumption, the outer world will transform to match it. This is not a possibility. It is an inevitability. It is not a matter of effort, but of being. When you embody the state of success, success must manifest. The mirror of life reflects your inner stance. Consider the difference between reaction and inner stance. In reaction, you are at the mercy of external conditions. But when you stand firm in your inner stance, the external must align with it. This is not wishful thinking. It is a principle you can test and observe. In my experience, what occurs is a profound alignment. You are not performing for the world. You are simply being yourself, fully and unapologetically. The transformation is both inner and outer, for they are two sides of the same coin. You are not living in insecurity. You are grounded in a secure identity. The outer world does not dictate your state. Your state dictates the outer world. This is the power of imagination and assumption, and it is available to you now. As you continue to embody this state, Watch how life responds. The mirror often follows, reflecting back the truth of your assumption. This is not an accident. It is a law. As you remain faithful to this assumption, the world cannot help but align with it. This is the truth that reshapes worlds. Let me share with you a profound truth. Your reality is a reflection of your dominant inner belief. You are not at the mercy of circumstances. You are the creator of them. The outer world is a mirror of your inner state, and as you embrace this understanding, everything begins to change. Consider this. Are you reacting to the world, or are you setting the tone from within? Are you defined by outer facts, or do you define them through your inner conviction? The difference is not subtle. It is transformative. As you persist in your new assumption, notice what happens. The mirror of life begins to reflect your inner state with increasing clarity. This is not a distant hope. It is an immediate reality. You are not proving anything to the world. You are knowing it within yourself. Think about this. How many times have you noticed that when you align with your desired state, everything begins to rearrange? This is not coincidental. It is the nature of reality to follow your dominant inner belief. As you remain faithful to this assumption, life must align with it. You are not living in doubt. You are grounded in faith. The outer world is not fixed. It is fluid, responding to your inner stance. When you assume a state of abundance, lack cannot persist. This is the power of imagination and assumption. You do not have to strive for change. You are the change. The outer world is catching up to your inner reality. This is not an effort. It is a state of being. As you embody this truth, notice what begins to unfold. As you continue to embody this state, the outer world transforms to match it. This is the law, and it is available to you now. As you remain faithful to this assumption, the mirror of life reflects back the truth of your inner state. This is the truth that reshapes worlds. You are not a stage performer in the drama of life. You are the playwright. The scenes, the characters, the plot. They take shape from the narrative you hold within. Consider the difference between outer seeking and inner radiance. When you seek, you are filled with the longing of the unattained. But when you radiate, you possess the calm confidence of the realized. The shift occurs not through effort, but through assumption. You are not a seeker of validation. You are a radiating presence of truth. The outer world conforms to the inner identity you embrace. As you persist in this assumption, the external begins to echo your internal conviction. It is not a matter of chance. It is a matter of law. Let me tell you something vital. As you continue to embody this state of being, the outer world reshapes itself to align with your inner truth. This is not a potential future. It is a present reality waiting for acceptance. Your role is not to chase, but to assume. Think about this. How many times have you noticed that when you truly accept something within, it manifests without? This is not a coincidence. It is the nature of reality responding to your inner stance. As you remain faithful to this assumption, the transformation is inevitable. You are not defined by outer appearances. You are the creator of them. The mirror of life reflects your inner conviction with remarkable precision. This is the power of the law of assumption. You are not performing for the world. You are being yourself fully. As you continue to embody this state, watch how life responds. The mirror often follows, reflecting back the truth of your inner belief. This is not an accident. It is a law. As you remain faithful to this assumption, the world cannot help but align with it. This is the truth that reshapes worlds. Test this principle for yourself. Remain steadfast in your new assumption and observe the shifts that occur. The world is your mirror, waiting to reflect the inner state you choose to embody. Embrace this truth and watch the transformation unfold.